Welcome back, everybody. It's been a while. We're happy to be back, excited to be back. We're trying new things. It has been a busy time. These last couple of months have been super busy. 2022 is definitely been in full effect. You and I have both been quite busy these last few months. We've been traveling a bit. How you been? Are you excited? How are you feeling, Kim?
I feel amazing. I'm so happy to be back with Shaboobs in the studio, just making this happen and talking about our life and just sharing these things and these experiences with you guys, as well as our insights. So I'm super happy. Thank you guys for tuning in. So today we're going to talk about how dance is a reflection of life and vice versa. I feel like it's a very important subject because I feel like even if you don't dance, there are things that dance can teach you as far as trusting your own body, trusting your own intuition. You know, when you create a dance or when you freestyle, it's like you gain it's not just the mind or not just the body, it's mind, body, and soul just in perfect synchronicity together. You're not in your thoughts and you still not fully only in your body because you're still creating as you move or expressing or just simply being. So, yeah, we're going to talk a little about that.
I'm excited. So let's just jump into that. I know for me, I'm trying to get back more into the dancing side of my life because I've been very focused on video production for the last few years. So I'm getting back into creating dance, and I would agree that like at this moment I just want it to be fun. I want it to be joy. I want it to just be a good time and good energy. So most of what I'm focused on creating is from that space of I just want to feel good and have fun and enjoy. And I think it's an amazing thing because I think music is one of those things that when you get into it and when you're really present with it is what you were talking about, kind of getting into that flow state where you're just all aligned with your mind, your body, your soul, your musicality. You're just moving, even if you don't know what you're doing. You're just moving to the music, and I find those moments to be probably one of my favorite moments, actually, of the year. Like I think music has brought me to a place most often that I can get to a place of great gratitude because music is just so freeing, and if you have something that just feels so good and it takes over, then you get to express that. And I think that's really the magic of it is when you get to express freely without necessarily trying to think about what's the cool thing to do. Like when you're just in movement, even when you're just testing and trying something, just the expression of trying new things and the curiosity really leads to a lot of magic.
Right, I agree with you. I feel like when it's so true what you said about that good feeling. I'm too close again. But what you said about that good feeling is something that I really agree with you because it's like, you know how we can overplan our life and say, okay, what should I do? What's the right thing to do? What's the right thing to do? But like in reality, your body always already knows where it gravitating towards. So in a way, it's like your body just the intelligence that is in your body already knows the way to get to where you're going, where you want to be. It knows. The body always knows. It can read vibrations right away. You know?
That's here's the funny thing though. I think the body does intuitively know. I think it's a matter of us getting to that place where we can allow that without the mental, that's
Right.
I think when everybody gets to that place where they're just feeling it out and they're letting their body intuitively move, or even again if you're trying new things or expressing yourself in new ways, it's trying to get to that place without your thoughts getting in the way. And what I think, obviously it's a practice skill because it's one of those things that the more you do it, especially in a freestyle realm, I think the easier it is to bring that into the audition life because it's the audition world is one of those places, especially where it really is about a level of confidence and feeling more than it is about so much getting the step. But if you can, get in the arena of the steps and still have presence and be able to like get into that mode of feeling right away. Oh man, those are magic moments.
Right, and I think that's the beautiful thing that I love about creating choreography, because what happens with choreography is you take a moment to just let your body see, okay, what's the next move? I'm not even going to focus on the entire dance right now. What's the next move
Yeah.
right now?
Yeah.
And you start building the dance. So you create the choreography and you get to a certain point, and it's like, damn, I got stuck. So I'm going to play the song and let me just freestyle for a little bit.
Yep.
Let me just freestyle the next part. Let me see where my body want to go, and I play the song, and okay, I'm doing until my choreography, and then the next part, wherever I want to go, I'm just okay, we want to go there. Now let me think with my mind, how do I make it make sense?
Right.
And I think that beautiful balance of hearing what comes from within and letting the mind contemplate, okay, I hear you, how can I make it happen? And then adding the next move, and slowly you write that beautiful song of movement, because you get familiar with your body and you start hearing it better. Okay, where do we want to go? And then next thing you know, your body feels even more confident to express where it really wants to go, because the mind learns how to interpret these intuitions and impulses.
Yep.
So I think that's a beautiful thing, how dance is a reflection of life.
Exactly.
In that
Exactly.
way.
But a lot of that is going to come with putting in the time to practice. And a lot of that really, I feel like a lot of people always try to find like, what's the thing to make you better? And it's really just, a lot of it really is practice. Now, I know we as professional dancers want to get better and we'll go learn choreography and this and that. But the more that you can really learn your body as well and take what you learn from all the classes and the various styles and practice on your own and really get nitpicky about what you're feeling and try to, like as you said, a lot of it's trial and error and experimenting. It's doing what you says, like, okay, let me just play this part of the song and then feel that. What do I feel to do there, rather than try to think so much? Because that's, I know when pursuing professional, we want to get like really intricate, and I think the more professional you work, you start to see that it's not always about the intricacy, but the in-betweens, the moments that you get to live, the draw out, but it's all experimenting and playing around. Mm-hmm. And the more that you do that, the more you get to trust your body and to let go. Because I think a lot of people are always asking this, what do I do? What do I do? And it's a lot of it's, you just got to put the music on at home and really like get focused on freestyling to that music. You really understand those beats and how the rhythm flows and what the rhythm does and how the rhythm may change and which flow you want to play off of, and then understand that for the next song, and then put a song on you don't know and then try to figure out what those rhythms are, because music repeats, it's patterns, and you're just trying to find the pattern in each song. If you want to get better at freestyling, try to find what the pattern is of each song. You find what the rhythm is, even if there's a drop or something, you can still come back on right when the rhythm comes back again, because the tempo and rhythm usually always stays the same. Mm-hmm. So it's all just a practice, and I think the more that you practice, the more comfortable you're going to feel and trusting yourself to really like let loose and experiment. But a lot of it's going to be like dancing at home in front of the mirror, dancing in the bathroom, dancing alone in spaces wide open so that you can move around and express yourself, dancing in small cramped spaces to figure out how you move and express yourself in that. Like, it all comes with experimenting.
Right. I agree with you. And it made me think about another thing. That, like, for example, when I choreograph, and for you it's patterns and shapes, and for me I feel like I'm thinking, what is the song, like, what is the artist feeling, what are they feeling? So like, this is also patterns, and I feel like I go by some kind of emotion, and I can't, what I do is I really ask myself, what am I feeling right now listening to this section of the music or this song. Like, I hear it and I hear like, okay, this makes me feel like I miss somebody.
Right.
Or something like that. And then like I think the process of asking myself, what are we feeling right now, is making these two sides of duality be familiar with each other and trust each other.
Right.
And then it helps me in my actual life, because then I really can tune into myself and be like, what feels right?
Right.
And I think it's a beautiful thing because music is really telling a story. Every melody and every rhythm, it's telling you a story by how you feel. How does that make me feel? Do I feel relieved? Am I intense? Am I angry? Am I loving? And it's like noticing these rhythms within yourself
Hmm.
is help you get familiar with the rhythm on the external world of the
Right.
natural rhythms of life,
Yep.
of how sometimes life gonna feel like it's easy, sometimes it's difficult, sometimes you feel just frustrated, sometimes you have it all figured out. It's all a natural rhythm, but it never stays in one point. So to get into these patterns and really being able to feel it in the music helps you really feel it in real life. And it's okay. Right now, maybe things are gonna get a little difficult, but it's just a rhythm. If I know how to balance myself and swim in this, you know,
Yeah.
crazy water, then I'm gonna be good because it's not gonna last forever. There's just a rhythm that we
Right.
can get familiar with.
That's so true. I mean, that's one of the, I think the hardest things for most people is to really understand that back and forth and the balance and trying to find the, your balance in the rhythm because
Yeah.
it does change. Tempo changes. Um,
Oh my god, it's crazy because now I'm thinking about it, like how we dance to a song freestyling is like the song is like water and you have to swim in that water.
yeah.
Because if you don't dance on beat or if you're like out of rhythm, it's just not gonna make sense and it's not gonna be like fun to do
Wow.
or watch.
Right.
So, it's like if you're able to hear the rhythm and complement it or get in some kind of alignment with it, like it's like swimming and dancing is like almost the same principle.
Yeah. I like that's the beautiful thing is when it transcends. Um, Absolutely. I think again a lot of it comes down to everybody taking the time to be vulnerable with themselves, try and experiment new things, see how each song moves you differently. There's so many different ways that your training can bleed into your life
Right.
because essentially that's what it should be. The idea is that whether you're pursuing professional dance or pursuing professional anything, the idea is you want to get better, you want to train and get better, and the principles that you take into getting better in this one field in this one subject do bleed into other areas of your life if you allow it to, like listening to like being married to music and listening to the music and knowing the songs and every little bits and pieces. If you learn to listen to a conversation that way and really pay attention to the people the same way you listen to musicality, you can really like grow both at the same time. Like everything kind of bleeds into another. They're all lay on top of each other. They're interconnected. They're interdependent. Like each thing is on top of the other. Being present, being aware, listening, responding to what's happening rather than reacting, understanding where your reactions come from. Like there's so many parts and pieces to this um, that accumulate this whole thing. And if you're trying to, get better at one thing, you can apply that to the rest of your life. Like especially relationships. I think a lot of times we get a little sidetracked because we put all of our time and focus and energy trying to be successful in business and finances and career that we will negate a lot of personal relationships or take them for granted or have like high expectations of other people when we're not putting the same time, energy, and effort into those personal relationships. Especially we can get a little bit not bombarded. We can get a little bit overzealous about our network and not necessarily our friends and family. So there's a balance to it all, and I think that's important to recognize.
Right. I agree with you. There's two things that I have to say about that. Of getting better, that I agree that dance shows you, okay, if I actually practice this thing, I can see how my body's becoming better as far as like my movements are out of nowhere more sharp and I'm more flexible now.
Mm-hmm.
And now I can remember choreography better now that I did so many shapes with my body that I have remember where am I going and how do I want to express certain things. So as far as in that way, it's very true that dance can show you, okay, if you put in that much work. So what I was saying is that dance helps you in a way that it shows you, okay, if I practice these movements every day or if I continue practicing choreography, I can see how my body is becoming more sharp, more strong, more flexible. So then it shows me, it proves me that with my work, I see the results. So it drives me to take action in other areas because I see what my consistency brings to me and how, taking the time to do these things really means everything. You have to make time to do these things. And the second point that I wanted to say is also remember that as a dancer, we say I want to get better and I want to improve myself, but also remember that because there is no point that we're going to get to that is like, okay, now you're the best and there's no more better you can become, we'll never get to that point. So it's also important to remember that we're doing this for the simple fun of just doing it. And sometimes not necessarily getting from one point to another, because even when you dance, even if you're in a studio and you dance, you don't dance to get to some point of the room to another point of the room. You dance just for the joy of it. You're not rushing to try to get to the end of the song. You're just doing it just to do it. And that's the whole idea of dance in the first place. That's the whole thing. We're just doing something just for the simple act of just doing it.
Right.
And so I feel like it's also important to remember that in our life as well. We're never going to get to the point of having it all figured out. Again, it's that rhythm that we learn from music.
Right.
We're never going to get to the point, okay, no more to figure out. Even when we get to the point that we feel like and think and we desire to get to, there will be things to figure out when we get there too. So we're really there already. It's here. It's now. It's always really right now. So you're doing everything you do today and everything that you're doing right now is for the simple joy of you experiencing doing that thing. Don't let your life be just a bunch of things that you just do to, I'ma just do it until I get rich. I'll just do it until I find love. I'll just do it until I finish school. I'll just do it until when I get somewhere, I'll do this, this, and that. No, everything that you do now has to be something that in a way you enjoy it, that you can be present enough to really feel yourself doing it and enjoy the way you're doing it. Whether if it's working or talking, hanging out with somebody and giving your time to a person or spending time with yourself, these things have to be things that really make you happy and grateful for the moment.
Yeah. I guess another way to think about it is that the thing you may be doing may not be joyful, but that doesn't mean you can't bring joy to the thing you're doing. Like, sometimes there's whatever the task is may not be fun. That doesn't mean you can't have fun doing it. Throw some music on or find creative ways to get done the thing you need to get done, because a lot of us want to do the things that we love, but don't realize that a lot of it comes with a process, a setup. Like people want to be videographers, or people want to film a lot of things but don't realize all the things that it needs to do it. That doesn't mean that it has to be boring or the tedious stuff. It doesn't have to be not fun. If that's not your thing, you can make it fun.
Right, and here comes the balance of also deciding what you're going to be doing, because if only we're using our mind to say, what should I be doing next, without listening at all to our body or our intuition, then everything we do is going to be boring. But if comes that balance of like when we create choreography, let me listen to a little part of the song, let me see where my body feels, and then let me decide how I'm taking action based of those feelings and what I'm feeling from within, rather than just building your entire life plan based on logic only. When we think too much far into the future, we just think too much into just a thought. It's just a thought. The future that we think is just a thought, at the end of the day, it's really now. You know what I'm saying? So now you can feel what feels right for you. Only now you can feel, okay, where are we going in this moment? Let me see where my body wants to go.
Right.
And then act on it, but act with the mind. And then use logic. Hear the emotion, understand, come from a place of like, let me hear myself rather than judge myself and say, no, why would we want this? No, you will never be able to do that. Never mind. Nah, you don't have this.
That's important right there. Yeah.
Yeah, all of those conditionings that we have, just simply listen to your body. It's always going to know where it's gravitating towards. Body is made of intelligence. So body knows more than mind knows.
Yeah, definitely. I think, wow, yeah, listening to yourself, understanding yourself without judgment is a big one. I think if you can understand those feelings, like let's say somebody asks you to do something, and your immediate feeling is like, I don't want to do it, but you justify trying to do it. I think if you could listen to that feeling, it's like, I'm just unavailable, and you can go figure out why you don't want to do those things later on. I think when you understand what you're operating from, you can really learn to like make proper moves. Because a lot of times there's a place where a lot of us are trying to operate from a place of safety and security.
Oh my God, so
And
true.
in the safety and security means that we're in fear of a lot of other things or certain decisions, so we'll just not do it. And we'll just try to isolate. I think you have to be aware of the things that genuinely won't move you forward towards the goal, or the things you're doing for safety and security. Because I used to think that me not being out and about and being around public places or people was my solitude, but it was really just isolation, because I just didn't want to deal with anybody. That doesn't grow. That doesn't move forward towards the plan, or doesn't help what the goals are in the future. And I mean, we all need each other. It's a community. Like, I can't do what I do without other people, and I'm not gonna grow those relationships or make new ones if I'm always hiding.
Right.
And I think for anybody, if you can relate, if you can look at your actions and be like, is this reaction coming from me wanting to be isolated because I don't want to deal with hardship? Or is this coming from, I don't want to do this because this is not moving towards my goal? Because, we can not move towards our goal because we're doing things because we just don't want to deal with the hardship. And you're just stuck at that point. So I think it's definitely something to look at if you can understand your own feelings and where they're coming from. Is this intuition? Because I think that's something that for a lot of people, they don't know how to listen to intuition. And I think it's like trying to assess the feeling when it happens. Is like, oh, no, something feels wrong. And if it's time sensitive, you need to get away or say no, then you say no and get away, and then you figure it out later. But if you could take the moment and be like, oh, something feels weird. Why? Is this me not want to deal with something that because there's negative energy that I don't want to be towards? That's fine. You can move away, and that's no harm, no foul. That's great. You avoided negativity. Or is this something that I don't want to do just because I'm safe and secure and this thing challenges me?
Right, and it takes a lot to really be honest with yourself, because sometimes it's even in relationships. Sometimes we're going to ask ourselves, am I with that person because it's giving me safety and convenience, or am I with that person because this relationship just gives me crazy enthusiasm about life? It inspires me in every way, and I want to be the best version I can be for myself and for that person. So which one? Be honest with yourself.
Yeah.
You gotta be real in your life. Like, am I working in a job because I'm excited as fuck about it, or am I working in a job because I have fear of being poor?
Right.
Is it something I learned from you, that you ask yourself, am I doing this from faith, or am I doing this from fear? Because fear is inverted faith. You just have faith in things that you invented in your mind.
Right.
And faith is the belief in the unseen reality.
Right, and that's true. If you have fear, you basically just have faith in the fear. That's how strong the fear is.
You just have faith in the fear, and it's like, no, there's really nothing to fear ever in this world. This is God's world. Why would you have anything to fear in this world? Why wouldn't you just go after the things that excite you the most and the things that ring your bells? Why wouldn't you just dance for no reason? Why?
Right. I mean, and here's the thing again, you don't have to pursue being in entertainment to bring joy to your life. Like, a lot of people, a lot of us have to survive, and everyone has to work. You have to make money somehow in society. So we're always everyone's going to have a job, and everybody's going to work. That doesn't mean that you can't bring joy to your life outside of it or during it. And I think that's the thing to remember, because, for many of us who are blessed enough to try to pursue your creative dreams or whatever your dreams are and do the thing that you love, there is, trappings that come with that. There is hard work that comes with that. There is dealing with a lot of people and energies that come with that. There's the learning the business of whatever that thing is. Like,
Right. But if you're gonna do it for somebody else,
you might as well do
wouldn't
it for
you
yourself,
do
right?
it for yourself? If you
Exactly.
anyway gonna put in the hours and you're gonna learn systems and learn people to be in that field, why wouldn't you just do it in a field that you actually excited to know more about?
Yeah.
Something that you naturally teach people about
Yep.
just because it's in your being, these things already in your coding, it's in your, you
Yeah.
know?
I think everybody has this innate ability and urge to want to connect and teach and be around other people and a community. And you might as well, like, again, it's, we all have to work, but you can do the thing that you love still. You can still learn. Like the whole, one of the goals that people don't really talk about in life is really just growth and trying to be aware of the growth and trying to just control what you could control. Like, obviously, you can't control the world, but you can control your environment, your energy, your space, who you allow in, who you talk to, who you express outwardly, and how, like, you can control those aspects, which then influence the environment, which will then influence you again.
Mm-hmm.
It's all a cycle and it's all interconnected, but it comes on the person to make the proactive choice to say, I want to, be in a good mood. I want to control my environment. I want to express love. I want to give unconditional support. I want to go show people that I care. It's all a choice and you have to do it. And again, life will come at you. That doesn't mean that you can't bring joy to something. You control your attitude, which you control your attitude, which affects your energy, which affects your effort. So something circumstances can happen, but again, you control your attitude, and that affects your energy, and that affects the effort that you put out into other things.
Right. It's the same like we said in the swimming. The ocean can hit you really hard, but if you just let go for a second, the harder you try to swim in, you're just going to lose all your energy and you're
Yep.
going to be tired. You just got to sometimes stop. Just let the ocean carry you wherever. Let the rhythm take you wherever it needs to get you. Just slow, like, don't do nothing. Just be still. And you can watch how things just naturally find a way to work out and then find a way to fall apart and then find a way to put themselves back together in a much better and a more amazing way,
Mm-hmm.
So that's a beautiful way to put it.
I agree. I mean, yeah, dance is, well, I love dance because it's there's so many avenues of where it takes us professionally and what it does for us emotionally. Because you get, I think, as dancers and artists or anybody who's artistic, you get to really start to question things and want to dive deeper into things. And I find that to be a beautiful journey.
Yeah, I was gonna say that even as dancers, when we start doing it as a profession, and then you start doing it for, you have your rates and you start doing the gigs, it's still important to take time to just create dances, or just, it feels good to even learn from another choreographer and take dance class. That's
Yep.
amazing, but also take time to just sometimes make something of your own, just to see where your body wants to go and get a feel of those natural inner rhythms, because that's literally the correspondence, and you're gonna learn. If you can read it from inside, you're gonna be able to read on the outside and knows where it's time to take action and when it is the time to not do anything, and
Right.
when it is the time to give your all and when it is the time to give nothing. There's a
Mm-hmm.
time for everything. Nothing is ever the same. There's never only one way of being. Life in itself is a dance. We're in constant movement. We're in constant, need to find balance. Things always move. And as long as we know and find the way to always remain right in the middle, we always going to be able to observe these things from a non-emotional point of view, and then we get to really enjoy it and have fun.
Right. That's the part where it's funny. That's the part we're just trying to get to, having fun.
Exactly.
Just trying to have fun. Oh my, having fun in the thing, I think really, really takes it to a whole new level. I was just watching a dance video with somebody, and they're like, they got upset watching the video because in their mind they're like, I should have been better at this. But what's funny is like, if I had just had fun while doing it, I would have done better in this. But because I was thinking about it so much that I should have been better at this, I didn't do the best. And that is the irony and the paradox of the whole situation, is that you just want to be so good that you capture this attention and you are this person. But the irony is that the more you have fun with it, the more you get to tap into that.
Right, and here comes the beauty of the detachment, because if I'm not too detached with my idea of how I'm supposed to be,
Right.
and I let go of that expectation,
Right,
of
letting
how
go of the
things
expectation, yeah.
I should be or how things should be, then I get to see the beauty of it, because everything, it's like a scale, between good and bad. It's really no separate two. It's just two poles of one thing, and one thing is worse than another, but better than another thing. So
Right.
if I can look at myself or in a life situation and look at it from the side of, okay, right, this has happened. Maybe my first instinct was to say, damn, this is so bad. But then I remember that I still have things to be grateful for, and things always could be worse. So I'm going to
Absolutely.
place myself on that perspective. That way I change how I feel about it. That way I change the whole chemistry of my body. And that way I change the outcome and what's the next thing that's going to happen. Because this is the feeling that I'm deciding to attach to that experience. So guess what? Universe is going to give me more experience that this feeling is what I can attach to.
Right.
If I'm grateful, I'm going to receive more things to be grateful for.
Right.
So that's the ability to place yourself in that perspective of like, okay, damn, I'm watching that movie. You see how that movie made that person feel uncomfortable because you said in their mind they feel like they should have been better than that person. But who told you that right now you should be better than anybody else? Maybe right now is how the perfect way you should be. There's nothing better to be than what you are right now and what you're doing right
but
now.
see, the thing is, I guess what people get upset about is that they know that that part is there, but they don't get to execute that part out in the world. That goes, select groups, your auditions, it's like when you know that you are the thing that they're looking for, you are that good, but you just got in your own way because you were thinking about it too much. That's where it's like, I think that the point is like, you are where you need to be. You are good. You are as good as you think you are.
Right.
You just have to have fun in the process of where you're at so that you can let that shine. Because that's the hardest part, is that everyone's trying to remember what the steps are or impress the choreographer or other people in the class or get in that select group, that we're trying so hard that we're missing the joy, and the joy is what really makes you stand out, because the joy is what brings the playfulness and the confidence and the character. Like, that is what brings it all out. And when you focus so much on the technicality and trying to do it right, you miss out on that part. But that's the irony, and that's the paradox, is that you are like that dancer and as good. Some maybe just need to reach that level of like learning their body, but it's like you are a great performer when you allow yourself to be.
Yeah, it's like, which direction are you looking at? Because at all times you're given amazing things. If I look in that direction, if I'm looking in the direction of like, oh my God, the technicality here is so hard, I got to focus so I can really do this. But if I can also look the other way, if I'm not too attached to that, and I can look in the other way, okay, right now I may be in an audition, there's people right now that's going to see how good I am, but at the same time, I'm in the city everybody wants to be. I'm doing what I love, and even if I'm here, I'm around these people, I'm doing this, I'm excited about it, you know what I'm saying, and just feeling, and also, there's not about just convincing myself, I'm good, I'm the best I can be. It's also, I'm seeing that I am taking the action. I'm taking action. So what other way do I have to go rather than this working out for me? If I'm just sitting here and saying, no, I have to be the best, and I'm not practicing, then of course I'm not going to believe in it. But if I do it every day, and that's when you really do it because you love it, because obviously anything you do every day is something that you love.
Right.
Think about it. Sometimes we don't admit that we love those things, but that's why we got to check ourselves. Like, what am I giving my love to? just my being is I'm here to give love as a human being. That's why
Right.
some people get dogs and cats, because in our being we don't want to we want to give. We are servers. In our essence, we give service.
Yeah.
All we want to do is give service. So it's just like, what am I giving my service to?
Right.
You know, and when I'm doing the right thing, when I take that action every day, when I wake up, I do my meditation, I do my workout, I answer my emails, and I know that I did it. I have even more faith because I'm like, look, I give my time of day to do these simple actions. And since I'm doing every simple little action in a successful manner, my whole life cannot help but be a success.
Right.
There's no other way to go.
Right. But that still comes with the understanding, like, you know, life is going to hit and things are going to happen and things are going to derail you. As long as you're moving forward and you keep the positivity, because without the positivity, you stop moving forward. You get stuck, you get stagnant, you just get in that cycle. But it always comes down to like you serving others ideally is going to come back around and serve you in your purpose. Like if you're doing whatever you feel that you need to be doing, whatever your mission, your goal, your vision, your purpose is, it comes to serving other people through that thing, and then that comes back to you.
Right. So we are actually out of time, but I want to say this was an amazing conversation. I'm very happy to hear your insight about things, and to just I want to thank you for giving me this space too to express myself and to talk about what I think. It really means a lot. You putting in the work, you're getting everything, you doing all of those things, and it really, even inspires me because that's hard work for really something that you are just personally passionate about. So thank you, Shaboobs. And thank you guys for tuning in. I hope this episode helped you maybe want to listen to a song and just see how it feels, and maybe look within yourself and try to find those rhythms that's going to help you in your life, and to really organize our life and our thoughts in a way that from the simple things to the biggest things, those things truly inspire us and make us feel excited. Life is a dance, and when you dance, you just do it to have fun. There's really nowhere to get to. There's no point to get to, and that's it. There is always a forever growth. And as long as we learn how to get in that rhythm of that growth, we're always going to be good.
Absolutely. I agree. Thank you so much. I appreciate you.
Let's get it.
Thank y'all. Peace.